Welcome aboard. I'm Captain Jake, and we're back with another Tabletop Tuesday. Today's will be a little bit different than normal, as we're going to do an unboxing, and then we're going to be doing a quick game just to fill in the time. So the one thing that I have learned or discovered is I've been playing one mission, flying one flight, and then putting it away and bringing in something new. So starting next week, we're going back to B-17, the Queen of the Skies, and we're going to keep playing it until either my pilot, which I'm going to rename as me, is dead, or we complete our 25 missions. So hopefully we complete our 25 missions. I'm hoping that we can get done a couple of missions each time, but we will have to wait and see. So let's go ahead and get into it today. Okay, today we're going to be looking at American Tank Ace, 1944 to 1945. I realize this game's been out for a while, and well, since 2021, I do believe. Most people are now playing the British Tank Ace. Well, I never got the chance to play this one, so I figured I would start with this one. We are looking at it. It's from Compass Games, and it is a solitaire tank game, and it was designed by Gregory M. Smith. So, and that's it. So we're going to open this bad boy up here, and let me continue a little bit, but this looks like it's going to be a great game, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, we're going to get our opening utensil here. We have we'll have quite a few of them. All right, so let's see if we can get this open without hurting the box at all. And, as also noted, this game is from, I picked this up from Noble Knight Games. They are not a sponsor, but they do offer great prices on the game. This game was actually listed as mint. And well, it wasn't listed as mint. It was just listed just about like new. So somebody had opened it, but they shrink wrapped it afterwards, and it's going to be, we're going to take a look at inside of it and see how it looks. Got to get the paper off of it though. Also, before I forget, you'll notice that we don't have a glare this time, and the reason I don't have the glare is that I got these two black mats. I actually had them before, but I forgot that I had them. So hopefully that will cut down on the glare when we're playing games, etc. So we'll put the utensil away, and we'll read the back of the box here. We'll take a look at it. Okay, let's get to the back of the box here. Hopefully the glare is not too bad, but we'll go ahead and read the back of the box. We have American Tank Ace, 1944 to 1945. It's a solitaire tactical level game that places you in command of a U.S. tank during World War II in the European theater of operations. You will make the tactical decisions a tank commander face and control the actions of your crew while trying to survive. That's going to be the big one, trying to survive. You will be assigned missions to attack, defend, or contact movement to or conduct movement to contact, depending on the current tactical situation. As time progresses and players survive, they may use the experience gained to improve their odds of success by purchasing skills. As their prestige increases, they will request improved versions of the Sherman tank when they suffer the loss of their previous tank. And that's assuming I don't die. at that time. Awards and promotions help to narrate the player's eventual goal to survive the war and defeat Nazi Germany. And you can see in the back here, we have a number of things laid out. Up here, we see the counters are 9/16 by, 9/16 inch counters. And you can see the battle map and the tank map, and then we got our crew status over here. That happens to be the officer crew. If I remember correctly, if you flip this over, you will get the enlisted member, because you start off as an enlisted member of the tank crew. So let's continue with what here. Gameplay moves quickly. Once you have your initial tank and commander, play proceeds by rolling for a mission and conducting it. Enemy forces range from penal units all the way up to SS and Fallschirmjägers, and are randomly generated, ensuring no two careers will ever be the same. Combat is swift and sometimes deadly. As most of the German panzers, SPGs, as self-propelled guns and AT guns can destroy your tank. Terrain and weather also have an impact on operations, as well as smoke. Players must pay attention to hull down status, the orientation of their hull and turret, and decide when it is prudent to button up. Button up is when you go into combat. Typically the driver's head is sticking out of his hatch and the commander's sitting up on top. And sometimes you have the gunners also. And then if you get into combat, you button up, but your view during button up is much less than it is normally. So artillery and mortar fire can sometimes support either side, and random events will add the uncertainty of combat. When each mission is complete, assuming that you have survived, big question, you will ascertain if any rewards have been earned or experience points gained. Promotion is also possible, which has the advantage of allowing for artillery and mortar support. You may also upgrade your tank if you have sufficient prestige to get a better model. Otherwise, you continue to fight with your starting tank until it is knocked out. While American Tank Ace is designed as a solitaire gaming experience, additional options for player provided for both multiplayer cooperation and competitive gaming sessions. Like I mentioned before, this is copyright 2021 by Compass Games. The system is packed with rich technical details based on actual tanks used by U.S. forces. The tank display mats correspond to each of the 10 tank types available. The mat helps track the status of your tank and systems, available weapons, and ammunition. The available tanks are the M4 Sherman, the M4A1 Early, the M4A1 Late, M4A176, M4A176W, the M4A176W with HVSS. So we'll have to see what that is. M4A3E2 Jumbo 75, the M4A3E8 EZ8. I do believe in Brad Pitt's movie, that was the name, that was the type of tank he had, was an EZ8. There was also a, let's see, what was it, a comic book that also dealt with the EZ8 at some point. So I went and looked to find out what the name of Brad Pitt's movie was, and it was Fury, which I do believe was an EZ8. Then we have the M4A3E2 Jumbo 76, and then finishing up with the M26 Pershing tank. This game was designed by Gregory A. Smith. Artist was Nadir El Farah, Matt White, Package designed by Brian Miller, Nadir Elfara. Project director was John Krantz. Okay, over here on the side we got complexity is 4 out of 10, which keeps it well within my scope of learning. The time scale is semi-abstract, individual missions 8 per month. Map scale, abstract. Unit scale, individual tanks, crewmen, enemy vehicles, anti-tank guns, and ammo. Number of players, 1 or more. Suitability for solitaire, designed for solitaire play, obviously. Average play time is 10 to 15 minutes for a single mission, 4 to 5 hours for full career. Recommended age is 14. Components, you get 1 and 1/2 sheets of 9/16 inch counters, 5 tank display mats, double-sided for different tank models total, 4 player aid cards, double-sided, 1 crew display mat, double-sided, 1 for NCO and 1 for officer, 1 8.5 by 11 battle board, 1 operational display, 1 rule booklet, 1 mission log sheet, 1 10-sided and 2 6-sided dice, the game box and lid. So we're going to get this opened up here, and Compass Games is famous for including baggies. Well, we won't be using that, and I'll explain why. Here's the dice, the 2 and the 10-sided die. So let's go ahead and get this open. Nice, and it's wrapped up really nice. Let's see if we can get this out. Okay, first thing we got is the rule book. We won't need that plastic anymore. So let's get that rule book out. Put that there. Okay, rule book. If we flip over to the back of the rule book, which is, I realize is hard to see, is the sequence of play. And then if we look at the designer notes, and we'll look through here, we have designer notes, and it looks like we actually have 22 pages of rules. I'm going to read this. It's a nice picture. This game is dedicated to Major Michael L. Mundell, United States Army, fellow Army officer, husband, father, and friend. Killed in action in Fallujah, 2007. Rest easy, bud. Always gets me. It's very nice that they dedicated that. So the pages are nice and glossy, and that's what's causing quite a bit of glare here. So we go to the first page, second page, okay, and now we got the game set up. And next is what? Okay, we're just looking at the game setup. And the next thing is going to be, what do we got here? A page that shows the tank map. Then we're still in there. And then how to win the game. And then the sequence of play, and it's going to walk us through each one awards. And then we go to combat. So we have 1 page of combat rules and how to resolve. And what happens when you get a flank shot and you're immobilized, etc. So we're still in combat, specific combat situations. And another example. And we do have HE rounds and WP rounds, which stands for Willie Pete in my vernacular. And then we have APCRs, and we got more information on how to do combat. So like I said, nice and glossy, nice big print, good examples. I think the rules will be fun to read and get through. And then we got the designer notes back here. And then we have the example of all the counters that come with the game. So we have APHE rounds, and that's it for the rules. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun reading these rules. And it came with the errata, which is really not surprising, but it did come with the errata. I printed it off already, and we're going to put it in with the rest of the rules, and we'll mark up the rule book so that we read the correct rules and get this errata into the book correctly. Okay, so we'll get those incorporated for later, and then we get a mission log sheet that you record your log missions on, and you'll notice that we do have 8 missions per month, and it's double-sided, as I kind of pointed out there real quick when I flipped it around. So we're going to record all the stuff on here, and since we have so many of them, I don't think I will ever get to the point where I will print them off. Okay, the next thing that we have is our battle board. Nice and heavy. You can't see it because I accidentally moved it away from the camera, but it's nice and thick and it's very heavy. Well made, very well made. And that's where you put all your where you are, current terrain, what you're in, weather, and which way your tank moves forward, etc. And it is single-sided. But like I said, it's nice and thick and well made. Next one we have here is our operations map, June 44 to April 45. It's got the sequence of play on it, which is good. And let's see, we got St. Lo, Operation Cobra. That's when General Patton took over the 3rd Army. And next is Arancourt, the Siegfried line. That's about the time where they had to put all the supplies and fuel and everything to Montgomery so he could try Operation Market Garden. If you haven't read Cornelius Ryan's book, I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen the movie, star-studded movie, very accurate to the book, I highly recommend it. So then we got the Bulge, obviously Operation Grenadine, and behind Rhineland. So now we're going to look at the numerous sheets that we have, double-sided, but they're not wrapped up real nice. Well, let's see if we can get them out of this wrapping first before we talk about them. Yeah, it's proven to be stubborn. They really wrapped this up nice. So, you know, if this wasn't a mint game, it would really surprise me, because it, you know, I know they wrapped it, but it's just, it's very nice. It's well made, heavy. I have a number of Compass games sitting behind me that will eventually come to the table. And if they're made as well as this, it's going to be a darn good game. So, and if you take a look at the, if I can get the glare off of it, you can take a look at the counters. And let's see. Oh, we don't want gun jams. And then it's double-sided, so you can flip it over and you'll have other numbers and MGs and reduces and other things. But it's so well made. Counters will have to be trimmed though, and luckily I have a new device I had to buy. Back in my day, they didn't have trimming devices, so now I will do that. Okay, let's see. Here is the sheet that shows all the tanks that we'll be going up against. We got Panzer IIIs, Panzer IVs, Panzer IVHs, Panzer Vs, Tigers, Hessers, Marauders, Stugs, Nashorns, and I already covered Panzer IV and Tiger Ones. So, yeah, these are a number of a good variety of what we're going to have. So this is double-sided also, so we'll flip this over. Let's see if you can get a good look at these. We'll get this front side so maybe you can see them. If I can get it to focus and get the glare off of it, you might be able to see it. I don't know whether it's turned out, looked good, or didn't look good. So, and that's the back side of those. All right, put that away. Now, get the rest of this stuff out of the box here. Looks like we have our player aids. Like I said, didn't have those in my day. You had to get the charts and everything out of the rules. Now, what's nice is B-17 Queen of the Skies, they did have all the charts that were separate from the book, so you didn't have to flip back and forth. But they got this wrapped up great too, and I'm going to use another device of destruction, pair of scissors. So now we're going to take a look at these. It's got the fire, bailout charts, MG charts, main battle tank charts. Then we have the training. Oh, sorry. Then you flip that one over. We have event charts and all kinds of various things, reload, ready rack, etc. for the American Tank Ace. So, but these are very heavy stock. Very nice. So, don't know what to do with these yet, but we will find out eventually. Okay, let's set those aside. Now what we end up with is the command summary chart. And that's a dual-sided also. See if I can get the thing to show you what it shows. So, show what it shows. Isn't that great? So we're looking at the chart 1, Fort Knox. It's got Fort Knox training. So it'll be interesting to see if we've got training scenarios in here too. All right, now here we got mission assignment charts. We got tank, guns, recons. Like I said, they're very sturdy. Now, if we look at the actual tanks, but the actual sheets that we have. So we start with the M4, naturally. That's our basic Sherman that we'll be starting with in the beginning. And on the back side, we got M4A1. And we got the 76, and then we got the 76 W. And we have our crew status indicator here, where we put what we have, cleaning kits, if we have been promoted, what the gunner, tank commander skills are, and any war trophies that we pick up. And on the back side, we do have the NCO. The front side was an officer, and this back side is the NCO. Put that aside. Now, we got more tanks. And let's see here. Oh, the last tank is the Pershing. We'll take a good look at that one. So that is it for what's in the box. So let's get all this stuff put together and see if we can get it back in the box here. Yeah, well, I've got them kind of out of order, so I'll order them up a little bit better, and we'll see what we got here. I've just noticed by looking at the screen that we have we're not exactly square, so I'm trying to make sure that we have a good square so that you can see it and you're not looking at an angle. But I'm still new at this, so it takes a little while. Okay, the one thing that we're going to have that's a little bit different is from, and there will be a link to this also, is the Cube for Me. They are based out of England, and they send you, oh yeah, wait a minute, wait, I noticed that this one is the wrong one that I wanted to show you. This one, it's supposed to be 1/8, and if you take a look at that, so you can see that it's much narrower than what we saw. And they all come with covers. I thought I was missing covers, but they were so stuck together. But they, on their website, they have a person has not decided, but designed how to put it together so that all of your counters end up right there in the middle, and then you have a good cover to put on that. And that fits right in here. Let's see if what we can get in here. So get all the charts back. I think it's going to be just a little bit thick with the die, but we'll wait and see. Let's drop all that stuff back in. Get the rules. There's the counters on top. And throw the dice in there. Yeah, we're going to leave the counters out because it's going to be in the box. So yeah, it's just a little bit thick because of the die. So, but that's okay. It's just a little tiny bit, makes it, not too bad, as you can see. About 1/8 of an inch too big. So anyway, right now we're not going to use that. So let's get this tray. Sorry, lack of words here. Get the tray out because we won't be using that until we start taking the counters apart and trim them up with my counter trimmer, I guess. So let's get all this stuff back in the box. So there we go. Got everything back in the box. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get to this one immediately after we finish the B-17. This will be the next one in our line of solo games, which again, the only one I knew of back in the day was B-17 Queen of the Skies, and that was in the early 80s. So we'll have to wait and see. So they give you all these baggies. I don't need the baggies because we're going to have the storage solution, but it's kind of nice that they throw those in there. So that will be it. I will wrap this up as far as the unboxing, and we will then move on and play our game for the day, which is going to be a short one. Okay, I flipped over real quick, and we will be playing the Pacific War 1942 Solitaire. This game is by Worthington Publishing and was designed by Grant, and I always forget I think it's his brother. It could be his cousin. So I gotta look up what his name is. But that is, let's see here, where is it? Open this up. Okay. Yeah, game designed by Mike and Grant Wylie. layout and design by Sean Cook. And it is a solitaire travel game, and I realize that the color and the glare is not the best, but we'll do with what we can. So now what we're going to do, we got the board all set up. We got the Americans starting in there where they're supposed to in the double, and we got the Japanese where they're supposed to start in Tarawa, and we have Midway, and they have control of the sea in the Central Pacific and the Southwest, and in the Indian Ocean. I had to double check what. So what we have is the Indian Ocean, and we have the China, and we got everything set up to where it's supposed to be. Whoops, I had those two in the wrong spot. Let's move that back. And like I say, they got all the sea control. And when you get the sea control, you end up with a -1 to the die roll, which would allow you to possibly not get the attack. And then we have this one here that is the Europe first, and that if that goes up, we end up with a -2 to the die roll until it is removed. So here we have all of our sequence of play, action points through turn 1 through 8. We have a different set of action points, and then turn 9 through 20 we have more action points. And then below that we have the ship, and over here is all the stuff that the Japanese do for the bot. And I'm going to move this over because I got a little bit of a shadow on it, but we'll make do with what we got here. Yeah, I still don't like the way that looked. Okay, now I think we're good. So let's go ahead and roll our first one. We got a 4. That is 2 action points. So what are we going to do with our 2 action points here? We could go southwest and see if we can attack. And then we can also attack central and move back. We're counting up how many spots it takes to get to Tokyo or Japan, because that's where we want to go. The shortest routes to Japan is through the Chinese, and then it's really short in the Indian Ocean one, where we have to go down and capture Java. So those are the 2 short ones. So I think I'm going to concentrate on those this time, and we'll see how that works out. So got my 2 action points. So let's see what we're going to do here. So let's roll. Yeah, I was looking to verify what they, not sure what they are, -1. Now I know that if you control it and the people not controlling it attack, it's a -1 to the die roll. But if they attack, when you do your attack, I think it should be a +1, because now you have the naval power that will be able to assist you in your attack. So, but the rules don't have that, but we're gonna play that way. We'll kind of making up our own rules. But so first thing we're going to do here, okay, roll for the first one. We got a 4. That is a attacker wins, and or ship wins. Sorry, I looked at the wrong one. The ship wins, and it is the attacker wins, so you change control. So that was good. Our first one rolled really good. So hey, you know, we're going on and moving on here. So we're going to continue down here. We roll a 5. A 5 is advanced results, so we win there, and we move the British down 1. So that's good. Now what we do is we roll 5. We've got a 5 and we're in the odd turn. If the Japanese control the Central Pacific Sea area, flip the front marker to stalled. Otherwise attack the Allied ships. So that's not good, because we're going to have to do stalled, and to bring it out of stalled, we have to flip it, use one of our action points. So that's where we're going to do. So we flip over to stalled. Okay, and that completes turn 1. Turn 2, we get a 6. We get 3 action points this time, which is going to be good. Let's kind of decide how we're going to do this. Not sure whether we should flip that over and continue our attack here, because in the China front, because it's shorter. So 4. That is a successful attack in the China front. So we're pushed. That was a battle at Chongqing, so we pushed them back to Hong Kong. All right, and it would have been that, because even with a -1, it was still good. All right, so we roll a 6, and we now have sea control of both the Indian Ocean and the Southwest front. Okay, Japanese roll, and they get a 1. Let's see, now what did I do? Did I do that right? I'm trying to remember if I did that right. Well, we're in turn 2. We've done our 3 actions. So now the Japanese have a 4, and it's an even turn. It says retreat to Allied front marker 1 location in the Pacific or Southwest Pacific fronts if within 2 of Japan. It's not within 2 of Japan. So now we're off to turn 3. We roll again. We get a 4, and we get 2 more action points. Now it's a matter of what are we going to do this time. I think, well, we might go up here and attack on the China front, because it's the shortest way to get to Japan. One of the shortest way to get to Japan. Let me double check something here in the rules, because I thought we got advantage with the sea control, but we may not. So I'm not finding anything that tells us that that's what we need to do. And I will admit something here. If it seems a little off today as far as the video and the talking, it's because I messed up again. I failed to turn the mic on, so I'm having to narrate this after the fact. So yeah, I screwed it up again. Not the first time, won't be the last time. So we are at 2 action points. And we have 2 action points. We have 2 action points, and we roll a 3, which is the attacker wins. So we're pushing him back, and that was the Battle of Hong Kong. So we now have captured Hong Kong up into China. And I think we're going to go ahead and attack the British here. 4, which, again, successful attack. And then we have a +1 for the ship, so that's 5. So that was the Battle of Bangkok. He's back in Singapore now. Fortress Singapore. Really didn't work out that way for him, for the British, because they had all their guns pointed at sea, and the Japanese came the other way, over land. So the Japanese ruled a 2, and we are on turn 3, and which is odd. So we attacked the Allied front marker on the China front and flipped the China front to stalled. Well, maybe we're an even turn. It's a 3. Oh, yeah, I misread it. Wrong one. 3. Let's say 3, 5. Okay, moving back. And And we are now and I can't see the numbers, so I can't tell you how many action points. Well, we got at least one. We put that back to not stalled. And we're going to attack up here in China again. Yeah, it's... And 4 plus 1, we're moving him back. The Battle of... was it Battle of Shanghai? Went in our favor. Okay, and I did verify. Oh, but the Japanese got a 2, and it is a even turn. So if the Japanese control the Southwest Pacific area, flip the Southwest marker to stalled. Otherwise, attack the Allied ships in the Southwest. So that's what he will have to do to attack this ship in the Southwest. All right, well, the Japanese roll for their attack, and they easily win that battle and flip it over to the Japanese control in the Southwest. So he's going to get a +1, and I'm getting a -1. But I got to make sure that they could attack me next turn and push me all the way back. We got a 1. They were on turn 5, which is odd. We got a 1, which is only 1 action point. And we got a 1, and we were unsuccessful in our attack, which is unfortunate. Japanese turn. They got a 6 on an odd. Flip over all Japanese front markers to reserve if not already flipped. So they're going to get an automatic -1 during their attacks. And if we attack them and succeed in winning, and I flipped the wrong one there, if we succeed in winning, they get turned back to the regular side. All right, turn 6. Let's see how many action points we get this time. And we get 4, which is 2 more action points. And that's a -1, -2 because he controls the sea. So that's not a good attack, good odds for the attack, because I'd have to roll a 5 or a 6 to be able to win that and push him back. So we will, what are we going to do here? We roll 6, so we got control of the Central Pacific, which now gives him only a -1, and we get a +1, so it evens out the way I'm playing it, because, and 5, okay, that was easy. We move him back, we move up again, and he gets flipped back over to his normal size. So having the sea lanes, I think, should be an advantage. 4. Japanese on a even turn. We retreat the Allied front marker 1 location in the Central and Southwest Pacific fronts if within 2 locations of Japan. We have no one in that close to Japan, so we do not. Well, maybe that was an even turn. Oh, I read the correct one. All right, now we're up to 7. 6, we get 3 action points. Still not sure why I flipped over that Japanese sea control, but we get 3 action points. Okay, he's got a -1 there, plus a -1. He ends up with a total of a -1 because we have a +1. So we won. We push him the Battle of Singapore, and we are now in Singapore and pushed him back to Java. And we need to move this guy off of here or get the sea lane control, because it would still be a -2 to that attack, which still, like I say, is bad odds. So let's see if we can get that Japanese turned over. We got a 5 in the ship results. We gain control of the southwest. Now we can attack here with a -1 plus our and our +1 cancel each other out. So it's a standard attack. And it failed. So now it's Japanese turn 7. He gets a 2, which is an odd turn. Attack the Allied front markers in the Central and Southwest Pacific. So we factor we're off here. So it's a -1 and a -1 +1 with the ship. He rolls a 6, easily wins. I am out of that. If he captures another one of the flagged areas, automatically wins. Now he's going to attack the Central Pacific. And that attack failed. Now we're at turn 8, which we're still 1 turn away from getting more. All right, 6. We get 3 again. So what are we going to do? We're going to definitely move back to here. We have to move back to here. So that's a 0 sum because it's a -1 for his unit and a +1 for the ship. So let's see what happens. All right, failed the first time. Got a 4. We take back our spot. And now we've used 2 of our 3. And we're going to attack down here in the India front. Or no, maybe not. 1. It failed no matter what. Okay, Japanese turn. We got a 4. And we are on an even turn. Retreat the Allied front markers 1 location if within 2 of Japan. We have none within 2 of Japan, so we don't have to retreat any. So it's nothing. We just move off to turn 9, and now we're on the different points, different action points, which 1 extra action point for each one. We get a 1, which is now 2 action points, vice 1 action point. So we're going to roll there. We got a 6. That's easily that Battle of Port Moresby. We pushed them back to Guadalcanal where they started. And we roll a 2, which is a +1, which means that we can move. We win the Battle of the Java. So he gets moved out. And we now have captured Java. All right. 2. And we're an odd turn. Attack the Allied front markers in the Central Pacific and the South Pacific. So he wins again in the Central, pushes me back to Hawaii. And so we get a +1 here, or -1. 3 minus 1 is 2. So his attack fails. Okay, now turn 10. We're up to turn 10 and we roll, we get a 4. A 4 now action points is 3 action points because we start getting more. So let's see, I'm thinking we got this guy captured and moving this guy towards Japan, which is still the closest one, but we need to get the guy out of Hawaii. So first 2 attacks failed. 3 is we were able to successfully win because 3 gives us the attacker wins. So the Japanese now are an even turn. And if the Japanese control the Southwest Pacific area, flip the southwest front marker to stalled. Otherwise, attack Allied ships. He doesn't, so he's going to attack the Allied ships there. And he gets a 5, which easily flips control of the Southwest back to him. Now we're off to turn 11. We roll a 3, and that is 2 action points. Up here, if we attack him, that's automatically a -1 for the fortified area. And he's got the sea control, so that would be -2. So I don't think that works out very well for us. Okay, turn 12. 3, and we get 3 action points. Not 100% sure. I think I messed that up. So there's 1, putting the regulars on there to hold Java. And I'm going to move back. So it looks like turn 11 got screwed up, which is not unusual. So failed attack again. And failed attack again. Another 1. Okay, this turn kind of screwed up also. It looks like they got a odd turn. So it says, which is a even turn, I'm sorry, which is reduce Allied Army reserves by 1 and flip 2 active fronts to stalled, player's choice. So yeah, I kind of messed that one up. So 3. All right, now we get 4 action points. Okay, we're going to turn, there's 1. Now we're going to get him, and nope. That's 2 out of the 3, and we successfully attacked. So we have 1 more action point left. Five. Easily beat him. He's a -1, plus we have the ship, which is +1, which makes it a 5, and he moves back 2. Okay, we are on a odd turn. And he got a 2. So odd turns. Attack the Allied front marker in the Central and Southwest Pacific fronts. Again. 2. Yes. He he's got a +1 because of the ship. So he won. He is now in Hawaii, unfortunately. And here he gets a -1, but it doesn't matter. He still wins the battle. It's unfortunate. Okay, we'll move off to turn 14 now. All right, we get a number of action points. Okay, first thing we're going to do is attack there. Are we successful? Yes. All right, we're pushing back. And here, no. So we're still in a precarious position because he could win by knocking us out. So I could get to Japan here, which would give me a lot of points. And we have that control. We got the sea control again, so we're -2. +1 is a -1 on our die roll if we go for that attack. All right, And we're going to make him regulars again. No, second thought, no. I need to attack down here. And that's a 1, sorry. And it's fails yet again. And 5. All right. That would be a even turn. Attack the Allied front markers in the China and India front. So I'm going to attack down here in the India front first. And it's not fortified, but we get a +1 to their die roll because of our support ships. And 3 + 1 is 4. So first attack was obviously unsuccessful. He pushes me back with the Battle of Korea. So he now pushes me back again, and we are now up to turn 15, which is odd. We got a 4, which is 3 action points. We're going to definitely want to push this guy back. We're having a tough time there. 6, finally 1, so we can push him back. Now we got 2 more to go. We're going to do Central Pacific. Obviously fail because it's a minus. So that's a 1, so it's a fail no matter what. And another fail. Wow, great way to roll. Roll 1 and a 2. So that's a 0 when you subtract the 1. Okay, rolls a 1. And this is an odd turn. Attack Allied front markers in China and flip the China front to stalled. So go to stall. He's going to attack me, but I get a +1 to the die roll. 1. Well, then a -1. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. It's a 0. He fails. Now we're off to turn 16. See how many action points we get. We're getting close. And 3. And that is 2 action points. Thinking about going attacking China again. We don't have to worry about the India because we've captured what we need to. No, correction. We haven't captured. We got pushed. No. We've captured it. Sorry. All right, we roll, we get a 2. We got nothing. Roll again, a 6. Roll the 6, and what am I going to do here? Roll again, a 1. Don't know why I rolled again. And, a 6 was on an even turn. Japanese control Indian Ocean, flip the marker over. If stalled, otherwise attack Allied ships, and it was a failed attack. So, now we're attacking up here in the China front. And we got a 2. Even with a +1, there's a 5. All right, moved him back because it was a overall -1 because it's a +1, and it was Korea was fortified. So 2 on a even. What about an odd turn now? So 2 and odd turn, attack the Allied front markers in the Central and South Pacific once again. And he won by rolling a 4, so knocks me back out of Hawaii. Pushes me back to Port Moresby. That's both of the Central and the Southwest fronts have been brutal back and forth battles. So we are on turn 17. And so if we roll a 4, we drop the bomb and the game ends immediately. So I'm forgetting which points, whose turn it is. So I'm using this. One side is my turn, one side is their turn, because I can't remember. Okay, it looks like we got a 3, which is 2 action points. So here, if we attack China, that's a +1, -2, which overall is -1, and we roll a 2. That fails. And let's see if we can push somebody back. And we roll a 3, -1 is a 2. Kind of a wasted turn. So now it's Japanese going to roll. That's why I flipped the counter over. And he's going to roll a 5. 5 on a even turn. Attack the Allied front marker in China and India fronts. Yet again. So first he's going to get a whole bunch there. And I think the first one, 3. 3 -1 is a 2, which is a failed attack. Okay, now we move to turn 19. Turn 19, we roll a 4. A 4 is 3 action points. It's our turn. So let's attack here. 4 -1 is 3. We still win. So we push him back. We now reoccupied Hawaii. Thank goodness. Oh, wow. All right. We need to push him out of there. So that's a 3 with a -2 and a +1, which is well, that should have been a -1. So -2 +1 is a -1. I rolled a 3, which should have been a 2, which would have been a no advance. So I messed that up. 6, we're going for the sea control, and we got the sea control up there on 19. So yeah, a couple of mess ups here, really bad. And 6 on an odd turn. Flip over all Japanese front markers to reserve if not already flipped. Oh, there we go. All going to minuses. And yeah, that it should never have controlled Japan. So now we are at turn 20. Our turn, we roll a 4. We get 3 action points. So let's see if we can attack Central Pacific. That's a -1 +1 is a failed. F5, finally. Took 3 tries to be able to actually get them. Okay, rolls of 4. Okay, a 4 is turn 17 to 20. The atomic bomb drops on Japan. The game ends immediately. So the game is over, and that is considered a win for the Allies. Yeah, atomic bomb dropped on Japan. Immediately causes us to win, but we're going to add up our points. So the first points that we're going to add up here are, let's get over here. As I opened it up, we're going to add 6 because we occupied Japan. We're going to add 3 because we occupied Singapore. Okay, and then we get 1 for each space that we've occupied. Other than the double circles, which is Allied flags in Japan, Singapore location. So it's 1, none, 3, 4. So we count all these up, and we end up with 5, if I'm not mistaken. And then we're going to add up the sea control markers, which we have 3. So to recap, we got 6 points for Japan, we got 3 points for Singapore, then we added up each of the places, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, that should have been 8. Should have been 8, which the first time I wrote down a 3. I'm not sure why it was a 3. Then we get 1 victory point for each sea lane control, which is, again, we got 3. So if we add these up, we don't get 1 for that. We don't get 1 in the southwestern front, but we get Java, which is 1, Bangkok 2, and 3 here in Rangoon. Then Chungking 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7. So we get 7 points. Don't ask me why I didn't have that 7 marked. So if we had a 7, and then a victory point for each one of those, which is 3, then we don't deduct for 2, we deduct 2 victory points for each sea area controlled by Japan, which there were none. And then deduct 2 victory points for Europe marker, did not. Deduct 2 victory points if the atomic bomb has been not dropped. So we added all those up, we got 10, so I ended up with 19 points. First time I added up, I had 22, so yeah, this was all screwed up. First off, I failed to put on the mic, which is stupid. So that will be it for now. So hopefully you enjoyed watching me mess this entire game up, because that's what we did. But we'll be back again next week with B-17 Queen of the Skies. So I'm Captain Jake, as always, wishing you fair winds and following seas. Until next time.